Welcome into Eagles Extra, home of all things Northwestern athletics. I'm Josh Kolejeski. We have a packed show, including interviews with captains, a sit-down interview with the head coach of the men's basketball team. We have freshman UNW basketball guards Bazile Jr. and Taryn Tumbleson in studio, and a whole lot more. But first, let's begin with lacrosse. The women's lacrosse team has started its inaugural season. The Lady Eagles have competed in a total of 7 games thus far, currently sitting at a record of 1-6 on the season, with that only win, a 12-10 thriller against Concordia College on March 9th, being the first ever program win. Most recently, the Eagles faced off against Clark University. Northwestern's Jenny Chamberlain was the first to score in the game, but Clark did not hesitate to answer back by scoring 3 goals. UNW's Rachel Hunt was next in line to find the back of the net, putting the Eagles at a score of 2-3 with just over 13 minutes left in the half. Clark then scored 3 more goals as UNW sank 1 more, and the Crusaders took a 6-3 mark to halftime. At the 18-minute mark, a real opportunity of window opened as the Eagles went on a 6-0 run to catch the Crusaders, but Northwestern couldn't find the net at the end of the game and fell short by just 1 goal. The final score 10-11. Jordan Broberg led the Eagles with 4 goals, and Jenny Chamberlain finished with 5 assists. The Eagles are set to take on Carthage College for another home contest on Saturday, April 2nd at 3 p.m. The UNW softball team is currently 17 games into its season. The Eagles now sit at 4-13 in 2016. The team played against McAllister College in a doubleheader this past Tuesday. The Scots took the first game 4-1, but the second game was a different story. Northwestern exploded for a 7-run 4th inning to pick up a 12-3 5-inning run rule win over McAllister College. Pitcher Megan Schroeder picked up the win. With more, here's team captain Colleen Feldheim with where the team is at midway through their season.
So far, I think our offense has looked better than it ever has before. Really just like working on getting people in once we get them on base. That's been a huge improvement from past years. And then it took us a little bit, but our defense is back to where it always has been. We're looking really good out there. I'm really excited for us to keep going. I think we look better than we have in the past, so I'm excited to get to our conference.
The UNW baseball team is well into its season. The Eagles are 6-12 in 2016. The team played against Augsburg this past Wednesday in a doubleheader. The first game was a come-from-behind victory for the Eagles, winning it 8-7. In that one, Braxton Lindau, Bradley Spencer, and Ryan Sutterer all posted multi-hit games at the plate. Troy Nelson picked up the win. The Eagles dropped the second game 5-4, and they'll face Crown College, opening up UMAC play at home in a doubleheader on April 12th, with Game 1 starting at 5 p.m. Switching sports now, let's talk UNW basketball. We have 2 Northwestern basketball players in studio, but before we get to them, when a season ends, awards are handed out to players and coaches. The men's basketball team gathered 4 NCCAA All-Region awards. Senior Michael Carney and Kyle Ohms were selected to the first team, while juniors Porter Morell and Cody Springer were honorable mentions. The team also had 3 players named to the UMAC All-Conference teams for the second consecutive season. Michael Carney was honored with the first team selection, and Kyle Ohms was then named to the second team, while Cody Springer landed on the honorable mention squad. And Carney added another award to his illustrious career. He was named a second team NCCAA All-American. Joining me in studio now with more on the basketball season is freshman electronic media communication major UNW guard Bazile Jr. Thanks for joining us, Anderson.
Thank you for having me.
So your first season here at Northwestern, you started the season kind of coming off deep in the bench, coming in late in games, and then throughout the season progressed to being one of the first guards off the bench. You got a lot of playing time. You were scoring a lot of points. How did you feel you did this freshman year as you kind of made that transition, not only from high school to college, but also kind of from not getting as many minutes in the beginning of the season to becoming a key role player for this team?
It was a process. Just had to just be patient and knowing my time was coming. And when I got my opportunity, I just had to seize the moment and just really go out there and just play great basketball for the Eagles.
So what's that transition like then from the high school game to the college game? You played high school basketball down in Texas. What is that? What is it like moving up in the ranks a little bit?
The biggest difference between high school and college is the defense. The defensive intensity in college was on a whole different level than in high school, and then the pace of the game. The first couple games, like the scrimmages, I had to really used like a lot of energy, just trying to keep up. And then when I finally got into a groove, I started being able to play a little bit more.
And you're from Texas, like I just said, and you decided to travel over 1,000 miles to come here and play in Minnesota, out of all places, especially having to come here in the winter. Why Northwestern? What stood out to you here as opposed to other schools that you might have been recruited by?
To be honest, on my visit here, it was the first time I seen snow, and that really stuck with me. I just like coming outside and just seeing it was a big difference, and I've been in Texas my whole life. I just wanted to see something new for a little bit, so when I had the opportunity to play at Northwestern, I just took it and ran with it.
Were you recruited by any other schools, or did any other schools give you an opportunity besides here at Northwestern?
Yes, I was recruited by TLU, which is Texas Lutheran, Northwestern State, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Awesome. And your team made it into the NCAA tournament. It's the sixth consecutive season for the team, I believe, especially coming off a great run that they had last year in the Sweet 16. It was your first time being a part of the big dance. So what was it like being a part of this Division III March Madness?
It was fun. Growing up, when the tournament comes around, I've always been making brackets and stuff, and to see my team name up there, but the teams that have made the tournament was just surreal, and I couldn't wait to play in the game.
Lastly, what are you looking forward to next year? You're losing Michael Carney, you're losing Kyle Ohms. You'll continue to get more minutes in your role as Michael Carney, one of the guards, leaving. What are you expecting from yourself and from this team in the upcoming season?
For myself, I'm just expecting to help the team out in any way the teammates and coaches need me to help out. And then for the team, really looking to clinch the regular season trophy. We slipped up this year and didn't get it versus Alaska. We came back and won the conference championship, so hoping to get the regular season championship and repeat as conference and go back to the tourney.
Thanks for joining us, by the way. Thanks for coming in and taking time out of your day. Head coach of the men's basketball team, Tim Groves, picked up his 300th win while coaching here at Northwestern. Our executive producer, Vanshay Murdock, sat down with him to talk about this past season's men's basketball team. Check it out.
From a win-loss standpoint, I mean, even last year, when we didn't start so well, we were still playing pretty well. We just weren't winning a lot of games. So this year, we were playing well and getting those wins. So, and I think, that gave us more and more confidence as the season progressed, and we just kept building on that. I mean, I think this year the UMAC conference as a whole was stronger. I think, there were a lot of good teams. I think the other thing, too, that people maybe don't realize is with the success we've had in the UMAC, we just have a huge target on us every game we play. So we know we're going to get every team's best game. They're going to want to beat us more than anybody. Anderson had a tremendous year, like you said. For all of our freshmen coming in, it's an adjustment. They need to learn our system. They need to learn college basketball. And Anderson did start on the JV, was just playing phenomenal on the JV. He was practicing well. So, we started to say we need to get Anderson some minutes on varsity. We never take it for granted. I mean, and the guys work hard, to get to that. So it's hard, it's hard. I mean, I think in the state of Minnesota right now, us and St. Thomas are probably the only two teams that have done that 6 years in a row. So it's very special to get there. Getting there is a very huge accomplishment, and hopefully we'll get number 7 next year, but we're gonna have to work for it. As you know, I mean, how good the conference is getting, it's gonna be very challenging. Michael and Kyle, obviously on the court, gave us a ton, and had fantastic careers, fantastic years. But we're going to miss them off the court as much, if not more. We feel we have a lot of good returners. We have a great senior class. We're going to have 5 seniors this upcoming year in Cody and Porter and Will and Peter and Aaron Youngberg. And then, the guys coming behind them. The JV team had a great year this year, a lot of success. So we feel like, we're going to be able to fill in there. I think we're at about 4 commits right now, and we're still waiting to hear on, probably, 3 to 4 more that we really have been going after hard. So.
The women's basketball team is coming off of a record-breaking season. The Eagles ended their season 23-8. That's the most wins in a season during head coach Aaron Call's 6-year tenure. The 23 victories also tie for second most wins in a season for the program's history. The team went far into the NCAA championships, eventually earning 4th place in the 8-team tournament. Joining me in studio is freshman guard Taryn Tumbleson. Taryn, thanks for joining us. So this is your freshman year as well, much like it was for Anderson. And you're coming off a great season. You played great defense throughout the course, coming off the bench. I think got one start. And your offense really, especially after the halfway part of the season, you could almost pencil you in for double-digit points. It seemed like almost on a game-to-game basis. How do you assess your rookie season outside of the statistics?
Outside of the statistics, obviously, yes. It was a great first year. It was a great learning experience. I had to adjust my game to be able to keep up with the fast-paced tempo and the shot clock. But we played a lot of really good opponents throughout the year and throughout our schedule that I had to change my game in order to be able to compete. But I was blessed with wonderful coaches and teammates that gave me the grace period of about 10 to 12 games to make that adjustment.
So you chose to play ball here at Northwestern, but you obviously got a lot of recruitment attention elsewhere. What were some of your other options, and why was Northwestern seeming like it was the best fit?
Well, I had a couple of Division II and Division I offers that they were very exciting. The whole process for recruiting was very, very exciting and flattering at times, but it was also stressful. All of the coaches knew that I wanted to make an early decision on my schooling so I could enjoy my senior year. And it was quite the process, keeping in touch with all the coaches and colleges and potential teammates while staying on top of high school work and homework and things like that. But it was, all the schools had a lot to offer me, but it was just a great experience and a good adventure.
And so why did Northwestern then seem like the place to be?
Oh, why Northwestern? Well, I went on a lot of campus visits, so each time, every time I visited Northwestern and talked to Coach Call, I just knew that it was the right fit. I wanted to be a part of a winning program and one that I knew that I could play as a freshman and contribute on the court as well. I also really like the competing with a purpose motto here at Northwestern, where winning and losing is not everything. I wanted to be a part of something that was much bigger than just basketball.
Awesome. And while coming here to Northwestern, while playing here in your first season, your team participated in the NCAA tournament down in Indiana this year. It's second consecutive year Northwestern's women's basketball team has been there. So how did the level of competition, you guys are playing NAIA teams, you're playing Division II teams. One of the teams I think in Roberts Wesleyan was an at-large bid. They could have gotten an at-large bid for the NCAA Division II tournament. So how does that competition of play compare to the UMAC, and what sort of adjustments did you need to make for the tournament?
Well, as far as my understanding goes, each school there each of their players had players that got or were awarded athletic scholarship. And so there was a lot of talent in the gym, and you could tell that when you were playing or even watching, that there was a lot of talent in the gym. And each bench was very deep from all of the teams that were there. They were the top teams in the nation for a reason. I mean, obviously, and they came out aggressive, and there was a lot of ball pressure throughout the entire game.
Lastly, your team has three key players that are going to be graduating this year. You're losing Kim Campbell, Reagan Cooper, and Courtney Kennard. So Kim being the starting point guard, you being one of the first guards coming off the bench, you're going to get a lot more minutes. You're going to play a bigger role next year. So what are you looking forward to with that role and with the team?
Well, we won 23 games this year because we played together, and our seniors contributed a great amount, and they were huge leaders on the team, and we're really going to miss them. But I'm really excited to play next year. I'm really looking forward to next season. We're bringing back a great group of players, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of such a great program again. There's a couple of things I want to fine-tune before next season, but working hard in the off-season is where improvements happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah. In other basketball news, the accolades for sophomore Amy Berglund continue to pile up as the guard was recently named as a National Christian College Athletic Association second-team All-American. It marks the third straight year a Northwestern women's basketball player has been recognized in the NCAA postseason awards release. Berglund had a record-breaking season as the Springfield, Virginia native started all 31 games this season for the Eagles. She led the team with just under 12 points per game while also dishing out 2.5 assists per game. Perhaps Perhaps Berglund's most notable performances came on the defensive end of the court as she posted a single-season program record 103 steals during her sophomore campaign, which was good for 17th in the nation for NCAA Division III. Alongside her recent honor, Berglund was selected first-team All-UMAC as well as the NCCAA North Central Region Player of the Year. A huge congratulations goes to Amy Berglund on a phenomenal season. Well, if you're missing Northwestern basketball right about now, our executive producer Vanshay Murdock was on the sidelines of almost every home game and a couple of road games this season, so you can head on over to his YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Vanshay14, to see a lot of UNW basketball highlights. That's all the sporting news we have for you today. We'd like to thank Anderson and Taryn for joining us. For more information about UNW athletics, visit UNWEagles.com and make sure to tell a friend about us. I'm Kolejeski. We'll see you back here next time.